This woman couldn't believe her eyes. Her son, who had always been hyperactive, was sitting quietly, watching a game of chess. To test her suspicion, she focused on an elderly man setting up a chess puzzle. No matter what, she was determined to have him teach her son a game. She just wanted to see how long her son could stay focused. To her surprise, on his very first game, her son managed to corner the old man in just 4 moves. The woman was astonished. Could her son be a prodigy? Eager to see the outcome, she watched closely, but instead of making another move, the old man refused to continue and angrily shooed them away. At first, the woman found this baffling, but later, the more she thought about it, the happier she became. Could it be that her son was mistaken for a master pretending to be inexperienced? Excited by the idea, she quickly set up a chess game at home, eager to see her son play against his father. But when her husband heard what had happened at the park, he was skeptical. Seeing their son still fidgeting and unable to sit still, he was even more convinced that she was exaggerating. However, an hour later, he could no longer smile. Not only did he lose badly, but he only managed to capture a single pawn from their son. Even more astonishing, their son spent the latter half of the game playing blindfolded while taking a bath. Such an extraordinary talent would drive any parent wild with excitement. But George's reaction was unexpectedly calm. The next day, he was tasked with taking their son to a chess club to sign up. After wandering around aimlessly, for some reason, he decided against it. As they were leaving, he noticed his son playing chess with someone in the lobby. His opponent, a man with a big beard, was utterly defeated, making his son's skill even more apparent. Despite his hesitation, George chose to walk away. From then on, he took his son to the park every day to play chess. Not only did his son enjoy it, but he also made some new friends. George thought this arrangement was perfect until one day, Bruce, a renowned chess master, sought them out. It turned out that the bearded man his son defeated wasn't just anyone but a top-tier player. Bruce was so eager to take their son as a student that he offered to cut his tuition fees in half, but George still refused. Over the years, he had tried nurturing many of his son's interests, only for them to be abandoned due to his son's lack of focus. He didn't want to go through it all again. However, Bruce wasn't ready to give up. He persisted, visiting their home to spend a day playing various brain games with their son. Finally, Bruce confidently told George, "Your son doesn't have ADHD. His brain just processes things too quickly, making him seem impatient. Let me train him, and I'll turn him into a chess champion." Admired by all. Hearing this, George could no longer remain indifferent. He immediately handed over the tuition and began his journey of turning his son into a prodigy. But being a laid-back parent and raising a competitive child are fundamentally contradictory. A month later, George took his son to a youth chess tournament. As soon as they arrived at the hotel, another parent came over, trying to compare their children's chess skills. Caught off guard by his son's sudden transformation, George instinctively lied, saying his son was already at level 15. The other parent paused for a moment, then gave him a bewildered look. It turned out that chess rankings didn't even go up to level 15. For the rest of the day, whenever that parent saw George, they couldn't help but chuckle. George could only pretend to be calm and focus on listening to the referee explain the rules. Even before the tournament started, something felt off. Instead of
like and subscribe.